Vice Chairman Anderson, you're YouTube live.
We'll call this Senate Appropriation Committee meeting to order. We have Senator Kinski is working on an amendment. He won't be with us for a while anyway. And we're going to do a little roll call here, please.
Senator Anderson.
Here.
Senator Guru.
Here.
Senator Nethercott.
Excused.
And Senator Salzar. Chairman Kinski.
Excused. All right, thank you. So we have a quorum, so let's go ahead with House Bill 185.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman and members of the committee. As this bill originated as a JAC bill and was then sent to the House side, this is our local government distributions. I would just remind the committee and those watching that just a little history on local distributions going into this standard budget session. Last year, we appropriated $105 million that was distributed back to the locals with the modified Madden BBOUT formula. We added in Section 3 another $15 million, bringing that total up to 120. That $15 million was distributed under a modified Hicks formula, giving more to smaller communities based on their ability to generate revenue. Governor, in the supplemental budget, made a recommendation of $26,250,000. In addition to this, and are in the infinite wisdom of JAC, we reduced that by half. That came over to the House side, went through, we had a third reading amendment, and much to the disappointment and opposition of the county commissioners and locals, we added another $13 million back in and brought it back up to governor's rec. So that's what we've done, Mr. Chairman.
Lloyd, guess I'm not following that. Is this, looks to me like this is 131,250. Is that, you're saying that's 13 million more than 105?
So, Mr. Chairman, thank you. This is the language out of our last bill, okay? So it modifies the language out of the last bill and brings that up to, we add in on page 2, we come in on page 1 on line 15, we were at 105 million, and with the changes that we've made up to and including the amendment where we went to governor's rec, brings it up to 131,250,000.
Okay. Questions for the representative? Any questions for the representative?
Just to make sure I got it right. But when it left appropriate, sorry, Mr. Chairman, thank you.
Yes.
Representative Larson, welcome. I apologize. When it left JAC, it was over, what was the number? It was over 105.
So thank you, Mr. Chairman and Senator DeGrew. The governor's rec was 26,250. We cut it in half and had increased it by 13,125. That's how it left JAC. That's how we took it, and so that's how you see the number. If you look on your bill, my fat hands, up there on the page, on top of page 2, line 1, that 118,125,000. That is what we come out of JAC with. Now, it is, we bring that up to 131,250. Adds the extra 13,125,000. Brings it to governor's rec.
Thank you.
Other questions for Representative Larson? Hearing none, thank you, Representative Larson. Thank you for being here. Nice haircut. Yeah. Anyone else to speak on this bill? Anyone at all? and they come out of the woodwork.
Mr. Chairman, I'm Bob McLaurin with the Wyoming Association of Municipalities. Just here to answer any questions, and thank you for your consideration for the additional money. I would be happy to answer any questions, and I'm here with my esteemed colleague from the counties. So,
Any questions for Wyoming municipalities? Any questions? No? Go ahead.
Good afternoon, Mr. Chairman, members of the committee. I'm Jeremiah Raymond here on behalf of the Wyoming County Commissioners Association. We support the bill and appreciate the additional consideration in here and the move to match the governor's recommendation. Just as a quick piece about how I anticipate that the counties might use this additional funding. In my conversations with them, it really kind of centers on two things. One, of course, being the change in the retirement contribution, which was one of the considerations that the governor had in his request letter. And as that moves along, I think counties are supportive of that move and would use some of this to prepare and contribute to that before they have to account for it themselves. And the second part, and I think this is the most important part, is there's a lot of federal funding in the system right now. And just like the state, we're looking to try and match that. And this would be a unique opportunity that your counties would be able to use this funding for. With that, Mr. Chairman, I'd stand for any questions, but appreciate your favorable consideration.
Any questions for the county? Counties? No questions? No questions? No questions? All right, thank you, Jeremiah. Thank you. Thank you. Anyone else like to come and speak on this bill? Hearing none? Any online, Linda? None online? Okay, we'll close public comment. Committee, what do you want to do?
Move the bill.
Second. Moved and seconded. Any discussion? Do you want to cut the funding out, all you guys? No. I just wanted to see Larson's face. Yeah. All right, let's have a roll call on this baby.
Senator Anderson,
Aye.
Senator Guru,
Aye.
Senator Nethercott, Senator Salzar. 4 ayes, 1 excused.
That's passed. Who's gonna run this bill on the floor? No. Wrong. Is this a volunteer coming forward? Oh. Yeah.
I think Dave.
Dave wants to. I think he does too, since he's not here. Okay, yeah, he got it. All right, next bill to come for us is House Bill 19, State Indian Child Welfare Act Task Force. And I bet you there's a couple of them wanting to talk on this. Go ahead.
So, Mr. Chairman, I believe this is a re-referral. In this bill, we put together an ICWA task force, and this is kind of a companion to what Senator Ellis has done on the Senate side in putting the federal requirements of ICWA into state statute and both of these come out of tribal relations, where even with that statute in place, we need to look at ICWA and determine how it best fits in Wyoming statutes. And so we put together this task force, and in this, there's a $40,000 appropriation that is for the purpose of providing salary, mileage, and the other issues that generally come with the task force.
So it's 40,000 over 3 years,
Yes.
right? Yes. Okay. All right. Any questions for Representative Larson? Any questions for him? Hearing none? Thank you. Representative Larson again. Nothing on this? Nothing on this one?
Mr. Chairman, I
Okay.
have nothing to add, just happy to answer questions if you have them.
Okay. A question for Senator Ellis? No? No questions for them. Anyone else like to speak on House Bill 19 re-referral?
Mr. Chairman, Travis McNiven, on behalf of the Northern Apple Business Council, certainly appreciate the Tribal Relations Committee's work over the interim, bringing both this task force bill as well as Senator Ellis's ICWA bill. Certainly view them as complementary to each other, and ask for a favorable consideration for the task force and the funding associated with it.
Questions for Travis? Questions for Travis? Thank you, Travis. Thank you for your consideration. Any other testimony on House Bill 19? House Bill 19, going once, going twice. Anybody online?
No, Mr. Chairman.
Wonderful. We'll close public comment. Committee, we're just voting on the $40,000 that they're appropriating over 3 years. Do I have a motion? Oh, motion moved and seconded. Yes. Any discussion? Any discussion? Hearing none, sensing you're ready to vote, let's have a roll call.
Senator Anderson.
Aye.
Senator Guru.
Aye.
Senator Nethercott. Senator Salzar.
Wonderful. Yes. We have another re-referral that was on your desk. The source material associated with the mining agreement. You what?
Which Senator Ellen took care of most of it.
So it got re-referred after the committee of the whole then?
We did it about 1 hour ago.
Oh,
And Senator Ellis presented the bill and was working on the standing committee amendment
yep,
when Hicks let us know it needed a re-referral.
yep. Okay, well, then we'll hear from Senator Ellis about the re-referral
Good. She's
then,
in
would you?
the wrong
There's
place at the wrong time.
$460,000 in here for the fiscal note.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'm just going to throw this out there. That was the worst presentation of a bill I've ever done in my life. It's horribly embarrassing. But this really is an important bill and something that the Joint Minerals Committee worked on. More or less, they're trying to have primacy when it comes to regulating uranium and thorium when it's mined as a byproduct. So, Senator, I'm sure you're familiar with this effort as you worked on it in Joint Minerals over the interim. To do this, we'd have to enter into some agreements with the Nuclear Regulatory Commission, and this program is administered within the Department of Environmental Quality. So when you look at page 9, you'll see that this program is paid for with fees by the industry. And then we're looking for some authorization on the bottom of page 9, section 3, for full 2 new FTEs who would be implementing the act, and then going on to section 4, it would appropriate $1,840,000 from the general fund to the Department of Environmental Quality, beginning with those dates that you'll see in the bill, expended for the purpose of entering into the agreement with the Nuclear Regulatory Commission and for establishing the program. So happy to answer any questions on that, but that's the purpose of this, and overwhelmingly supported by the mining industry. They'd rather do business and be regulated by the state of Wyoming rather than the federal Nuclear Regulatory Commission.
Any questions for Senator Ellis on this presentation? Another good presentation, Senator Ellis. This is really important to us. We want to keep primacy on this, and we thought we had primacy, but we didn't have primacy on these two things. So we're trying to get primacy on these, and it might be expensive to get it, but it'll move our industries faster by having DEQ do it than having NRC do it. So, thank you. Anyone else on House Bill 61 re-referral? Anyone else? Anyone else? Nobody coming out of the woodwork for this one. Anybody online?
No, Mr. Chairman.
No? All right. Committee, what do you want to do? Moved and seconded. Any discussion? Any discussion? Any discussion? Any discussion? Hearing none? Let's go ahead and vote. Let's do a roll call.
House Bill 61, Senator Anderson.
Aye.
Senator Grew. Senator Nethercott. Senator Salzar. Chairman Kinsky,
I don't think he wants to
Okay.
vote.
excused.
Excused.
4 ayes, Mr. Chairman. 1 excused.
That bill passes, and it's a re-referral, so we'll just have Senator Kinsky do this one too then. Unless somebody else, Senator Ellis will do it, yeah. Okay, all right. You did a good job.
Is that it?
Yeah, that's all. Is there anything else to come before the committee? Anything else? Nope, nope.